Good evening and welcome to Newsbite. I'm Nicole Peters and making the headlines this week. Connect issues contract for Geohydrological Study. We get an update on the Main Street Hotel project. Megan Castell tells us about her ballet classes. And we have your latest sports roundup. Connect St Helena have announced that they have awarded a contract to WSP Parsons Brinckerhoff to carry out a geohydrological study of the island. The study will reveal underground water sources where potential boreholes could be drilled. SAMS reporter Hannah Danford spoke to Connect St Helena's project manager Ronald D. Rook about the study.
Firstly, can you just tell us about the contract and the study?
Okay, basically the contract is allocated to WSP. I've just awarded the contract. Basically it will be in two stages. So obviously it's exactly what it is. It's a feasibility study. So the first stage will be for them basically to take all the information we have available on island, ourselves from government, to do with all drilling, and anything to do with water runoff and all that. So then what they'll do is they'll do a desktop study on that, and then once the desktop study is completed, and which should take about a month, stage 2 will then kick in. Stage 2 will basically consist of a contractor coming directly to island, then started looking at exactly what the study should say to them, and then start looking at the feasibility of what they're suggesting. In that same period, we are in the process of a tender now for a contractor to come to island to do the drilling part of that, to work with the consultant. So there will be roughly, we're looking at about 10 holes to start off with, just to get all the studies lined up and see what we get from it. Now obviously the situation we are in now, in the drought situation, this is the reason why we're doing this. The island at the moment just runs off of the water that we can get from runoff, which means if it doesn't rain, no water. We do have some boreholes and springs around, but they're not efficient at this stage. So we are looking at the moment at a backup plan, which obviously will be the drilling.
Okay, so when is the contract likely to start?
The contract actually started Monday. We signed the contract on Monday, which is, at the moment, we are actually sending all the information that we can find to the consultants. The consultants, obviously, we will be keeping a close contact with them. If they need any information, we will be sending everything that they ask for us for the next, let's call it the next month.
Okay, and how long is this contract for?
The contract is basically for 3 months, but it could extend a little bit longer depending on logistics, obviously with the RMS and things going, we're not always having the time period of bringing the stuff to island. So especially with the drilling contract, once that kicks in, the consultant needs to direct the drilling company, if it comes to that point where we're going to start drilling now. I mean, obviously it's an attended process still, so it's not a definite that that's going to happen. But if the drilling contract kicks off, we need them to direct the drillers to do the work properly. So
the study will decide where to drill?
Exactly.
So what if the study suggests that it's best to drill in an area where it's someone's property?
No. What the study will, it's one of the things that we are looking at is, obviously we have 4 systems on island, 4 treatment systems. So the first prize would be obviously to be as close as possible to these systems. So if we do some drilling, the drilling hopefully will be on our own properties or government property, crown land. And then obviously if it ends up that it can be on a property for private landowners, which I don't think it will happen, but if it do come to that, we will then obviously address the problem as such.
As we wait in anticipation for an air service provider to bring regular tourists to the island, a team of builders have been working hard converting 3 Georgian dwellings into a 4-star 32-bedroom hotel in Main Street. Hannah Danford reports on how the project is progressing.
It has been around 6 months since the first hole was dug in a ceremony to mark the start of the Main Street Hotel project, and things are progressing fast. The completion date seems ambitious with just 8 months left to go, but building manager Billy Neft confirmed that everything is still on schedule, despite some setbacks. So far, the basement floors have been lowered and converted into staff areas. New roofs have been installed, new doorways have been created linking the buildings, and the newly built extension and deck area is over 60% complete. All materials imported for the build are coastal spec, giving them a longer lifespan in this type of environment. You can find out more about this story in next week's Sentinel.
Creative St Helena are now offering ballet classes taught by Megan Castell for children between the ages of 6 and 12. The classes start at 4:15 p.m. on Tuesday evenings in the Baptist Church Hall in Jamestown. Megan started dancing at the age of 12, and in high school she studied dance as a subject. After leaving school, she continued to study dance. SAMS reporter Roxana Williams caught up with Megan, who told us about the classes.
Well, ballet is the basis of any form of dancing. Like once you've got ballet under the belt, then you pretty much can do just about anything. Hip-hop may be a challenge, but you get into it, and once you know ballet, when you're doing contemporary, your movements become so much more elegant and graceful, and you flow more with the whole piece rather than going from movement to movement. And I just found it like going from different, because I was teaching in Zambia for a bit, so teaching there and then teaching in Cape Town and teaching here, you just notice some differences, especially to people that haven't had any experience in dancing. And then you go and show them, like how I taught in Zambia, none of them have been exposed to dancing. Come here, I teach them, none of them have been exposed to dancing. You're finding that one child or one or two children that like they have it naturally, it's quite fulfilling. Like it's pretty impressive and makes your day,
All right. So can you please tell me more about your classes?
Well, it differs all the time. Like in Zambia, it was more modern than that. And then here, I've been asked to do ballet. And so the ballet has to be done a lot slower because it's so technical. It's really difficult to remember all the crit that you get given. So with contemporary, it's like, don't want to make it sound bad, but with contemporary, it's more to your own, like you can use your body the way you want to. But with ballet, there's not a single piece of your body where you're using it. I don't know, man. It's just so technical, so it's really slow, and that's why with such young ones we have to start with spatial awareness and how you need to be as tall as you can without being scrunched up and like going like that. You have to be really tall with being still relaxed. So it's difficult, but that's why we're starting really slow with the whole ballet thing.
All right. So what, in your opinion, does dancing provide for children?
Discipline, a whole lot of discipline. And how to hold oneself, like how you get told to hold yourself in class, you'll take it outside, so you'll hold yourself with respect and discipline and grace, and even the boys that do it, they'll end up being very gentlemanlike and they hold themselves well. Strength, muscle, core, flexibility, it offers a whole lot, really.
Okay. So your classes have already started. How has the classes been going so far?
They've been good. It's been fun. We've had different children come in with the 2 classes that we've had. I was very surprised by some of the children. I really thought that they'd had training before, but they haven't. And I'd really like to see them continue dancing even once I leave, if I can.
What are you hoping to achieve out of your classes?
Well, I'm hoping to inspire the children that they can, even once I leave, what I'm teaching them, it's out there, it's on the internet, it's everywhere. Of course, having somebody there move your arms for you and show you how it's done is a lot easier, but it's just about, like, no matter where you are in the world, you can do what you want to do if you make that effort. So, I mean, the children that are here, once I leave, if nobody else takes my place, then they can go Google, that has all the answers just about. So go Google, YouTube, beginners classes for ballet, and you can teach yourself, or you can teach yourself as much as what you can. And then when you go to a class, or if somebody comes over and gives them classes again, they already sort of know what to do. But it's also just, it's mainly just about, you need to do what you want to do. Like, don't let your destination, your place, or the people around you, or the fact that you don't have a teacher, don't have an excuse for something all the time, Just go out and do it. So.
After Megan leaves, Teeny Lucy will continue to teach ballet at Creative St Helena.
Western A Mustangs were victorious in the Western Derby match against Western B Warriors on Saturday morning. Man of the match Mark Williams struck a brutal unbeaten 82 to help Mustangs post 252 for 8 wickets. In reply, Jodie Henry struck an unbeaten 46 for Warriors, but they were dismissed for 121. Philip Stroud returned bowling figures of 3 for 18 for Mustangs. Pirates continued their good run of form and picked up a comfortable victory against Jamestown Zodiacs on Saturday afternoon. Batting first, Zodiacs posted 167 for 8, with Dax Richards scoring 49. However, Pirates knocked off the score for the loss of 3 wickets. Ian Williams's 57 was the highest score by a Pirates batsman. On Sunday, Patrick Crowey struck an unbeaten 133 as St Matthew's Lions posted a mammoth 366 against St Paul's B. Ryan Belgrove and Scott Crowey added scores of 93 and 84 respectively. Scott then went on to take 5 wickets for 29 runs in St Paul's run chase. St Paul's were bowled for 149, some 217 runs short of the required target. The final match of the weekend saw the eagerly anticipated Levelwood Derby. All Stars came away with a comfortable victory after posting 222 against Rebels. Darryl Leo's 66 was the highest score by an All Stars batsman. Despite Russ Henry smashing a quick-fire 27, Rebels were bowled for 112.
Well, that's it for this week's Newsbite. Do tune in again next week, and remember you can catch up on all the latest news from the island by tuning in to SAMS Radio 1, and you can read about it in the Sentinel, which is out every Thursday. I'm Nicole Peters, and thank you for watching.